Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video here will be the updated Divinate priority PvE tier list for 3.4.27. So the previous one for about the Divinate is like 9 months ago, which is like very long time. I haven't like update the Divinate tier list because I updated like the legendary ability mod, I updated the other PvE tier list, but I did not update the Divinate tier list at all. So this time I'm gonna update everything in one shot, including every single new Esper, and then also update the old one as well because they have some meta changes, right? Oh, and also this Divinate tier list here is only focusing on endgame PvE content, which is like your retro speedrun, your falsetto fantasy bossing, desolate land bossing, all this kind of content that more matters for the endgame PvE. So if it's just for like early game PvE, this tier list is not suitable for you. So first of all, we're gonna know that when we talk about Divinate, we are not just about the Divinate effect. It's also that does the Esper needs the Divinate stats, right? Cause most of the time we get Divinate, it's not just a fact, it's also we level up the Divinate, the additional stats they provided to us is a massive upgrade. So usually we'll go until like D3 for the level, right? So if the Esper here is not going to be that active in PvE, usually they will be in the skippable tier because you're not going to use the Divinate most of the time. And then the highest value here is my recommendation for you to get the Divinate as fast as possible. The more the better means it's not like the highest priority to go for, but if you have more Divinate on them, it have better value, then this one is only go until D3 will do. Then this is decent, like if you want you can go for it, if not then just don't bother. Then this is the old tier list, okay, old one. So I'm gonna update it today and we're gonna go through one by one first. So the highest value here, I think these 5 Esper here still have their value on it, but probably I will put Embla one tier lower. It's because in terms of DPS we have a lot other better replacement, but most of the time Embla is still there. But I don't think Embla is still going to be the highest value now, but the rest here I will still maintain. Oh, and also Suje here will go down by 1 tier. Reason is because when the more end game we go, the less usage we can see Suje in most of the end game PvE content. Okay, in terms of scoring, boss scoring content, then the usage for Suje is getting lower. It's not that Suje is not going to be good, just that there's better replacement when you hit like very end game. So I think it's no longer the highest value. So I think Liam still hold the highest value is because Liam does a lot of sub DPS, and then the core unit for Sonica, like this is no way and no replacement for Liam. Elif, the queen of almost every single content, and then for Slon here, probably we can debate like the more the better, but for now I will put Slon as the higher value. Alright, so the more the better here, I think Meta Liling still remain here because of Apex speedrun actually needs him, and also for Probator as well. But for Nora here, probably I will move down to decent tier because in terms of content wise, there's a lot other better replacement for the Nora slot, so I will put Nora 1 tier lower. Then the rest here, I think I will still remain here. Okay, probably Champagne here will go to D3. Okay, then for the D3 one, I think they still remain their own value. Nama one depends if you still use Nama as a speedrunner or else not really, right? So probably I will put Nama like decent. Okay, then for Lu Shang here, skippable. You don't really need the Divinate at all. Then for Yamato here can remain, Jinchu can remain, Clara, Momo, Phantom Sister, Abigail can go down. Then Armia here, I will move up to the more the better because a lot of speedrun wave clear content, you actually need Armia stats, is very important. So I will say the more the better, but not until the highest value. Then Yuhime here also the more the better because if you're using R6 Yuhime, the swapping makes Yuhime actually does a lot of damage, so the more the better. Okay, then the rest here, let's see. I think they still remain the same overall here in terms of supporter because most of the supporter doesn't really need the Divinate at all. J-Vid here, I will say decent because J-Vid is actually pretty good for the memory wave clear, and also the wave clear content is actually doing a pretty good job. Okay, Unas here D3 because if you go for after the Unas buff, the D3 here can give additional speed up. So it's very important for Unas to actually rotate his turn. Not speed up, immunity, so can like AP push a little bit more. Okay, then for 𝐃𝐈𝐕𝐈𝐍𝐀𝐃 here, also go for D3, because if you're using 𝐃𝐈𝐕𝐈𝐍𝐃 for Probator content, for example, 𝐃𝐈𝐕𝐈𝐍𝐷3 is actually pretty important for him to actually apply the disease effect, because we are using 𝐃𝐈𝐕𝐈𝐍𝐃 there because of the disease. Okay, then the rest here, Wu can probably go to D3 as well. Then Yamato have to go highest value if you are R6 Yamato. Sorry, Moriyama. If you don't have R6 Moriyama, probably the value isn't that high. But if you have R6 Moriyama, then the Moriyama Divinate actually have the highest value, because he's one of the highest DPS for Dark Starlord. Then the rest here, I think they will remain at the skippable, not really that important. Then I think the rest here still remain at their tier, probably decent. Leora here can drop down, not really a lot of usage now in terms of like end game PvE content. Yep, I think this is the car updated one. Then for Tolan here, bad is because most of the time in PvE you're using Tolan because you want Tolan to actually die, so Tolan doesn't want Divinate on him at all, Okay, then for Yunchuan here, skippable because PvE content, meta Yunchuan is no usage at all, like totally no usage for meta Yunchuan. Oh, I forgot to put Yunchuan, so Yunchuan here is the more the better. Not the highest tier, but the more the better. This is the normal Yunchuan, this is the meta Yunchuan. Then for Lapis here is the highest value, because if you are using Lapis is basically used in almost every single PvE content. It's like as strong as R6 𝐸𝐈, but in a different way. Lapis one needs the Unas, so if you have Unas, then the Lapis have the highest value to get a Divinate. Then 𝐸𝐸 is like if you have Feng Shun to have the buff, right? So Lapis here is very strong because using for Shadow Glow, Dazzle bosses, Falsetto Fantasy, and also in ritual content not really, but the other bossing content, Lapis already does a major good job, so at the highest value instantly. Zhou Hong here I will say skippable because you can't really use Zhou Hong to bosses, so that just kill him instantly at the start. Then Bidao here skippable, no usage at all. Mingshaw here, if you're using Mingshaw in Desolate Land, then the more the better, or else he doesn't need it. Depends on your usage, but Mingshaw Divinate is free anyway, so just get Mingshaw Divinate from the shop. You don't have to worry about like summoning for his Divinate. Then for Wenlock here is skippable. The Divinate doesn't matter. Nathaniel as well, you are not using Nathaniel for scoring content. Okay, then for Pinda is skippable because the Divinate here, the additional healing is more for PvP, it's not going to PvE. Then for Meta Ira, definitely at the highest value because it will further boost your allies' damage. So Meta Ira's Divinate, okay, D3, not highest value, D3, because you want Meta Ira D3 to have the effect to actually boost your other teammates S1 damage, if not mistaken, because most of the time Divinate is actually giving the buff for themselves, but Meta Ira Divinate is final damage of ally basic ability increased by 15%, so it's actually a major boost, but so you want to get until D3, but like D4, D5, D6 doesn't matter in PvE. Then for Suicai here, I will say skippable because most of the time you're not going to use Suicai for bossing PvE content, so you don't really need the Divinate on Suicai in most cases, unless you're using Suicai for like Fafnir or this kind of... Wait, let me think. Yeah, Suicai needs the Divinate because of the speed run, right? For the Fafnir speed run. So I will say Suicai will go the more the better due to that. Because you are doing for speedrun content, then Suicai is the more the better. Tetsuya here, the more the better as well. If you're doing Tetsuya Ryota combo for the current meta to do massive amount of DPS, then Tetsuya needs the Divinate for the additional stats, and also mainly for the additional stats. Then the next one, Ryota here is going for D3 because you want the additional AP push for the Stealth Esper, which is going to be Tetsuya. So the AP push here is a very important Divinate to actually make Ryota. So let's say you have Ryota R6, but if you don't have Divinate, it's still going to be a very big changes having Divinate or not having Divinate. So I will say Ryota have to go for D3 for the additional AP push to make the thing easier. Oh, I also noticed Anna here probably go down, no longer going to be D3. In terms of PvE content, probably can go for skippable. Okay, then for Seek here, highest value instantly, because if you're using Seek and if you have Seek, then Seek is actually one of the best speed clear Esper and also a sub DPS as well, instantly go for the highest value because every single stats on 𝐃 actually matters a lot, and he actually covers in a lot of content. Okay, in my opinion, it's the highest value. Probably Tetsuya can go and do the highest value as well, but for now, I would just put it as the more the better. Then Meta Drew here doesn't need the Divinate, so I will say probably decent or skippable, somewhere here. Because the Meta Drew here can give you additional counter attack. So probably put until decent here. If you're using the Meta Drew and Elif combination for Shadow Gale or Shadow Stream, I forgot which one, then Meta Drew counter attack here will come into handy for some RNG part. But Drew here is instantly skippable, no usage for PvE. Maria here does skippable because the Divinate here provides additional heal, but most of the time you doesn't need the additional heal. Then for Yukine here, skippable as well for PvE content. So let me go through one time. The highest value here, I think they still remain the value for their for PvE content, because you will notice that actually most of them are DPS. DPS. Usually the DPS are the one that wants every single stats you're able to get. Then the D3 part is mostly going to be supporter, or the Divinate effect is actually pretty good. Then some of the Esper here you can probably debate, like why are they at the more the better. For example, why Ollie is at the more the better is because Ollie speed run the Divinate is very important to actually speed run in Chronos. Then for Suicide here is very important for Fafnir speedrun. Valeria at level 70 is actually the best DPS for Shadow Fire. Ophelia here, if you don't use the other combination, Ophelia is actually very good in Shadow Glow, all these things. So it really depends on what content you are considering at the moment. So if just overall wise, I will say these 6 Esper will have the highest value to get their Divinate as fast as possible. Then the more the better is something you want to build after you have them. Then they can actually stop at D3 because you only need the Divinate effect. You can go check out in game why I rate them at D3, because the D3 Divinate effect is actually very important for them. Then the decent here, they are actually used in certain bossing PvE content, and the Divinate will come in handy. Then for the skippable here, I think they don't really need the Divinate to actually shine in PvE content. Mostly for the endgame PvE content, they don't really need the Divinate. So if you are someone who want to do speedrun, or you are someone who just want to do bossing content, then probably you just focus on these 4 slot Esper will do for bossing content stuff. Probably Jinchu will go down as well, but for now I'll just put it at decent. Alright, so that's all for this video. Hope this video actually helped guys out who are still wondering like which Divinate you want to go summon for. If you are a PvE focused player that you want to do high scoring content, then these are my suggestion. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment down what you guys think about it, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.